Welcome to Switch Comics. My name is Marco, and today I will be going over every slab that I picked up in 2021. Now that's whether I bought it or whether I got it graded. Every slab that I came in contact with, it was in my possession, rather. So before we get into it, quick reminder, at 700 subscribers, I am giving away 4 awesome comics. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and leave a comment on this video. And then you can actually go back and comment on any other video on the channel. Every comment on a different video is another chance to win. So, a little prerequisite, a little disclaimer here. So the main chunk of this video is actually recorded a few weeks back, partially because I got a new CGC shipment in with a bunch of new stuff. So I was like, I wanted to rearrange the wall anyway, but also some of the slabs in that video actually were being traded. I recently did an awesome trade for, I ended up picking up a Werewolf by Night 32 and Marvel Spotlight 5. Huge books I've been looking to get for forever. But anyway, so I wanted to go ahead and show some of those slabs off before I sent them off, because basically I made this video and then immediately sent those books off. But also quickly, before we get into it, I wanted to say, if you didn't check out last night's video, it came out on Winking's channel. I went on his channel and we talked about store exclusive variants. It was a super awesome video. I had a lot of fun making it with him. And, we talk about, what are potential things that are hurting store exclusive variants and maybe ways that they could improve, and a couple things that are really frustrating me about store exclusive variants. So if you could go over there, drop by his channel, tell him that Switch sent you, send him some love, and I'd very much appreciate that. But without further ado, let's hop on into the slabs of 2021. So starting off here, we have Cosmic Ghost Rider, Stories Marvel History, #1. And by the way, these are in completely random order. Got this at a 9.4, signed by Clayton Crane. I bought this book raw. I bought this book pretty early on into my comic collecting, and at the time, I was very, I don't know, you go through different evolutions as a comic collector, And at the time, this was like my grail. This was my end-all, be-all, I thought this was, it is a really cool cover. But I was like, this is just the coolest thing I've ever seen. I gotta get this. This is the coolest book. I love this thing so much, blah, 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 whatever. And now it's just kind of, it's a cool book, don't get me wrong, but I have a lot cooler books now, and other things that mean a lot more to me other than this Cosmic Ghost Rider Clayton Crane piece. Honestly, I'm kind of over Clayton Crane. I don't really like how much he charges for signatures, and I don't know. I think he's a little bit too full of himself, and I don't know. I don't feel like he's really put out anything fairly recently that I've gone crazy over. Don't get me wrong. He's an awesome artist, but I don't know. A little overhyped, I'd say. Then we have Star Wars Kanan, #1. I want to have #6. We got this at a 9.6. Just a cool little book to have. One I bought. I think I maybe paid like $100 for on eBay or something. This is the very last book I picked up in 2021. We got the Marvel 6, 1 in 25 Bermejo variant. Very rad Silver Surfer cover here. Got it at a 9.8. Went ahead and got it at a 9.8 because this has a factory defect. Not this copy, but most copies have a factory defect with a big old rip in the front cover. So I was like, I'm just going to bite the bullet and get a 9.8. Well, actually, I got pretty lucky. I won this thing for $125. That's a very good price. Almost what raw copies go for. And then we have Moon Knight 25. First appearance of Black Spectre at a 9.0. Very cool book. Very hard book to get in a nice grade because of all that black on the cover. But yeah, I bought this book for my brother, I think for his birthday. One of the last kind of bigger Moon Knight keys that he didn't have. And it's Black Spectre, it's a very iconic Moon Knight villain. I'm sure he'll pop up at some point in something. But then I bought this book off a buddy, kind of getting out of collecting comics, and he had a Venom #7, first cameo Dylan Brock at a 9.4. I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and snag that up. Why not? And then we have Venom #3, the Stegman variant, but not the good one. This is the foil one. And this is the one that kind of made me think, I kind of don't like foils and slabs. I'm sure you can tell how hard it is to see. Now, granted, I think on the camera it's harder to see than in person. But even in person, it's kind of hard to see what's going on here. It's just a shiny cover with a shiny piece of plastic in front of it. I was talking to my buddy Logan at the shop, and he said something. He had a cool idea. He's like, well, why don't they just do like matte finishes on the slabs? Something I'd never thought of before. And I was like, that would be pretty awesome. Honestly, if any grading company out there started doing matte finishes, I'd probably get into it, because being that I do YouTube videos, you have to be very particular with where I set my camera, where my lights are, because I would hate to have any reflections on here. I really tried not to have any reflections on my slab walls for the video. And I'm sure you've watched other YouTubers and stuff like that maybe aren't as cautious with their lighting, or maybe they don't have enough room to set up proper lighting where it doesn't work that way. Maybe you've been watching a DJ Lynx video and you see his big circles reflecting on his shelves in the background. Love you, man. But it's one of those things. It's like, it's fine. It doesn't bother me when I'm watching other channels, honestly. But you're always more critical on yourself. And it's one of those things, it's like, it would drive me crazy if there was reflections on my books. And this is the thing, like, it's not a big of a deal as when it's on a shelf, you know, because it's like a whole big glass shelf, and well, you're not really showing off the shelf, it's the stuff inside the shelf. But if I'm showing you my books, I want you to see my books. And if there's just a big glare down the middle of it, what's the point of, you know, it's not a cool background anymore. It's just a big glare. But I don't know. I thought it was a really cool idea. If someone wants to hop on doing some matte finishes, get on that. I might buy that. And then this is, I guess, one of my first burns, or at least for this list. So I bought this book from the shop that I work at, Pops Comics. Bought it raw, sent it into CBCS, got an 8.5. I was hoping for a 9. So yeah, I mean, you know, not too far off. You win some and you lose some, but yeah, got burned a little bit on that one. I was hoping for a 9. This is a book I bought a long time ago for me. Iron Man 252. Very cool War Machine cover here. I just bought it because it was a sweet cover. At the time, it didn't have any kind of spec, but now it has a little bit of spec because of Armor Wars. But yeah, it's just a completely red cover. Bought it in 8.5. I went ahead and bought it graded. I think maybe paid $100 for it or something, you know. It was just, at the time, again, I was just like, ooh, I want that, you know, on my wall. I bought THOR 150. I technically bought this one at a 6.5, but they sent me a 6.0 and then just refunded me some money. They were like, either, you know, you can send it back and we can send... I don't know if they had the 6.5 still or what the situation was, but I was just like, it's close enough. Just send me, you know, some money back and I'll be fine with it. But I think this is first cover appearance of Hella. I could be wrong. It doesn't say it on the label, and I don't think it says it on Key Collector, but I think it's first cover appearance of Hella. And then a friend of the channel sold me this graded copy, 5.0, Journey into Mystery 102, first appearance of Hella. Very cool book to have. I kind of wonder if I could crack this and clean up the whites some. I don't know if anyone's ever tried on this book. Like I said, I bought it graded. I kind of would like... It's a little dingy looking. Either maybe at some point I might buy a higher grade, or if I'll... I mean, probably because like I think that's supposed to be a lot more yellow as well. So maybe one day I'll buy a higher grade. But even though, it's still a cool book to have. Let me swap some of these books around a little bit. I just pull them off the wall and just threw them on the couch. So I got a lot of books sitting here. This is another one I kind of got a little burnt on, but I mean, not really burned on. I say burned on, but that doesn't mean like I'm out a bunch of money or whatever. I was just it didn't get where I was hoping it would be. But I paid $50 for this book raw. I got it at a flea market. Savage She-Hulk #1. Sent to CBCS, came back in 8.5. You know, again, I mean, I'm still doing well. Like I said, I paid $50 for it and then the price to get it graded. But I was hoping for a 9.0 on it. So, again, when I say burned, I just mean like, I was a little upset. This is one I knew it was going to be a bad grade. Oh, the book was super rough looking raw. But I bought it. It came through the shop. It's a book that I've been looking for. A book I should have picked up forever ago, but I waited until there was too much hype around it. We got Star Wars 68. I got it at a 3.0, and I gotta say, man, this is one of the most, maybe the most beautiful looking 3.0 I've ever seen. The colors absolutely pop. I think it is a stunning, stunning looking book, and it's a newsstand. So, pretty red. And then we have, bought this one for my brother. He's a big Gambit fan, so I got him X-Men, God. 266 out of 9.0. Again, I like that grade, 9.0. They look good, and they're pretty affordable, you know? And especially, I mean, I think I paid $125. This was way before, not way before, but this was before the X-Men spec started hyping up with, you know, speculation for X-Men in the MCU and all that. I just bought it because, you know, like I said, my brother's a Gambit fan. Now this is a book. So I've sold. I had Somebody's Killing the Children #1 foil, local comic shop day book. I bought that, got it graded, came back a 9.8. Sold that to Journo's Comics. It's funny, I didn't know. He just made Chris made a post saying he was looking for. I think he said he was looking for a slabbed key, you know, $100 to $150. And so I had that at the time. I was like, yeah, I could get rid of that. And so I sold it to him. We started talking. You know, he's like, I got a YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, me too. And then we started talking a little bit. And yeah, that's how I met Journo's Comics. Pretty fun little story. And I'm very glad to have met him. I like his channel a lot. Check him out if you haven't. Let's see. What was the other books I had? I know there's another one. And I'm struggling to remember it right now. But I know I had an Invincible Iron Man #9, first full appearance of Riri Williams. I think I had about $200 in it, total, probably the price that I paid for it plus what I had to get graded. It's somewhere, it might have been lower than $200. It's like $175 to $200. I can't remember exactly. But that's all that I had into it. And when it came back at 9.8, I was like, oh my god, this is huge, you know, and it's a huge book. I sold it at its peak, which it might go back up again later, especially when, you know, she starts popping up in movies. But I decided, I love that book. It was a really cool book, but I decided to sell it to get one of my all-time grails, NYX #3. And when I bought this, I was kind of debating on getting a higher grade, like maybe a 9.4, maybe even a 9.6. But my buddy, my cleaner and presser, had this one, 9.0. And I was like, you know what? A 9.0 is good. 9.0 is my grade. I like that grade on a book. I'm going to try to remember that other book that I had and sold. I had a New Mutants 98 9.0. I had a New Mutants 98 9.0, and I just sold that one. I don't know. I just I was just kind of like, it can go, I guess. I don't remember if I used that money for anything in particular. I still feel like there was another book that I had. It's gonna kill me. We have a lot of other books to go through though. So we have Thor 337 8.5. I went ahead and bought this one straight off eBay. It is a Canadian price variant. I bought it from Canada, actually. And the Canadian price variants are harder to find, and harder to price as well. I don't really know what this book is worth. I know it's, you know, worth more than the regular 8.5, but I don't really know about how much. And then we have Thor God of Thunder 2. This is a 9.6. I bought this one raw, I think off a dude on Facebook, and sent it in. Came back at 9.6. Was pretty happy with it. Very excited to see what this book will do when we get, you know, the new Thor trailer and the movie and everything. Also very excited in general just to see what Christian Bale is going to look like. Because I could, you know, they could very easily just make him CGI, but Christian Bale's a little crazy. I could see them, you know, I could see him asking, like, oh, you know, do the prosthetics and I'll lose some weight and do this and that and whatever. I could see that happening. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with that. Got some more Thor goodness here. We got Thor #5. The 1 in 25 Ribbit cover here. First appearance of Black Winter. So very, very cool book to have. This is one of the first, like, pricier books that I ever bought. And it's a super cool looking book. I love that book a lot. And then we have, this is a book, it came through the shop. It's Alien #1, third printing. And it's not really worth too much. It came back at, what, a 9.0? Yeah, it came back at 9.0. Not a fantastic grade on the book either. And it does have a lot of black on the cover, so to be expected. But Chris is a big Alien and Predator fan, so it's just one that he had to get, you know. Sometimes you buy books just because they're cool. And also, in case y'all don't know, on both Predator and Alien, I don't know how many printings they did. I forget. I want to say they do like 4 or something, but they all look the exact same. There's no difference between them. You have to open up the page, and on the bottom of the first page it says, if it's first printing, it doesn't say anything. If it's a whatever other printing, it'll say, like this one says third printing. That's the only difference. So, not a big deal. It's just something cool we wanted on our wall. And with that, We also have Predator #1. We bought this one. We were looking for this cover for a while. And we met Sam De La Rosa at, it was either Frankfurt Con or Lexington Con. I can't remember. Anyway, and he had some books there with him. You know, he'll sign your books that you bring, but he also had some books there for sale. And he had Predator 1 signed. Now, this is a second printing, but still pretty cool. Sent it off CBCS. Got a 9.2 on that thing. I love his signature. It looks so good. And, and then we have my favorite book of all time. We have All New Ghost Rider #1, the 1 in 25 Felipe Smith variant, first appearance of Robbie Reyes. I love this book so much. First of all, I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful cover. Gorgeous looking book. But also, I mean, like I said, I love Ghost Rider anyway, but also Robbie Reyes, he's got the chart. Oh my god. It's such a cool book. Such a cool book. I love this thing. And then we got some early stuff here from me. So, this was actually the second... No, the second slab I ever got, but the first slab I ever purchased for myself. We have Adventure into Fear #10 at a 8.0? At a 8.0, yeah. I bought it because I'm just a fan of Man-Thing. He's really cool. And this is his first solo Man-Thing. At the time, it wasn't any spec. There's a little bit of spec on Man-Thing now. Not anything huge, but there is some spec now. So, I mean, it might have gone up. I think I paid $100 for it, you know, just because, again, cool, classic Man-Thing cover. I wanted it. And also, with that, this book isn't really anything special, but Man-Thing #1 from Volume 2. Really cool cover. It's in an old school CGC case, which isn't very nice. It's kind of ugly looking and kind of a little cheesy feeling. But anyway, it's at a 9.6. And again, just a cool cover. I'm a Man-Thing fan. We made it happen. Shifting the slabs around. Alrighty, so we have Spider-Man 2099 #1 at a 9.6. I bought this thing graded. It came through the shop. We had $75 on it. I was like, yeah, I like Spider-Man 2099. I like the red foil. I'm a sucker for foils. And, yeah, it's like a cool cover. $75, why not? About 2 weeks later, that new Into the Spider-Verse trailer came out, and this book about doubled in price. I was like, cool, that works with me. Didn't buy it as an investment book. Figured everyone knew this, you know, he was already going to be in the next movie, but I guess some people didn't stick around to the end credits. I'm not sure. We also got Amazing Spider-Man Annual, #16, at a 9.4. Got this one out of a mystery box from the Dorkeries. First appearance, Monica Rambeau. Oh, that was the other one I sold. Because out of the Dorkery mystery box, I pulled a raw copy of Spider-Man 194, first appearance of Black Cat. And I had a 6.5 that I bought from a buddy that sold me that Venom 7, also sold me some other things here. And anyway, I ended up selling that one. Another buddy of mine was looking for a Spider-Man 194, and I'm pretty sure this one I got, it's getting graded right now. It should come back higher than a 6.5, which is what I already had. So I was like, yeah, I can sell this one off. So I sold that to my buddy not too long ago, and waiting on my other one to come in. And I really wanted to come in because I missed that book. I did miss that book. This one, I bought at a flea market. And this one, I burned myself on this one. So we got Invincible Iron Man #7, first cameo appearance of Riri Williams at a 9.6. I was being a little cocky. I should have got it pressed. I just sent it in. And there's a small non-colored bricking spine tick on the back. If I got it pressed, it would have been a 9.8. I'm pretty positive it would have been a 9.8. But I fooled around and, you know, was a little too into myself and messed myself up. I got lucky on this one, though. Did the same thing, didn't get this impressed or anything. Hawkeye #9, first cameo of Clown, did come back a 9.8. So, now here it is, my very first slab, one that my brother bought me for Christmas of 2020. Avengers 196, and this is where the 9.0 game started. First appearance of Taskmaster. I've loved Taskmaster for many years. My brother's known that. Before there was any hype about him being in a movie or this, that, or whatever, Taskmaster's been my dude. So, yeah, was very happy to get this as my very first slab. Then we have Tomb of Dracula #1. At a 6.0, first appearance of Dracula. And first appearance of Van Helsing as well. This book, I'm not going to lie, I bought it as a spec book. It's nothing that I plan on keeping on or keep holding on to forever. We have Moon Knight coming up. We have Blade coming up. There's a good chance Dracula is going to be popping up somewhere. And, you know, it's my buddy was selling it. Like I said, the same guy that sold me the 194, and this next book's coming up as well. But I was just like, yeah, I'll put some money into this book and just let it set for a little bit. But in the meantime, I can't lie, it looks good on the wall. It looks good. It's a sweet looking old school book. Can't go wrong with something like this sitting up on your wall. Even if it's not a book that I'm crazy about, it still looks nice. And then here's the big one. This one I was scared. The most I ever spent on a book. We have Spider-Man 50 at a 5.0 custom label, first appearance of Kingpin. And this is one, like I said, I spent a lot on, and I was nervous. I was like, 6 months from now, is this book going to be worthless or like half the value or something, you know? It was definitely a little nerve-wracking. It is nice to know the book is already worth considerable amount more than what I paid for it. But yeah, very, very cool book. You know, I'm very excited to see what the MCU is going to be doing with Kingpin moving forward. So, that one's super cool. This one I got burned on a little bit. I bought kind of at the wrong time. Not quite at peak, but close enough to peak. We got Spider-Man 361 at a 9.4 with a custom label. First appearance of Carnage. And again, I didn't lose too much money on this thing, but I don't feel too bad about it. I didn't mean to become a Spider-Man collector. It just kind of happened. I'm not like, Spider-Man's not like my absolute favorite character or anything, but I don't know. There's just a lot of good Spider-Man keys, and I don't know. I have a lot. I just kind of accidentally became a Spider-Man collector. And then we have, keeping with that, we have Spider-Man 252, 9.0, first appearance of the black suit, and won this one on eBay auction, newsstand. And then to match it, about a week later or so, I was watching an eBay Buy It Now listing. It wasn't a best offer or nothing, but it was like a couple weeks before Christmas. And he sent me an offer, $30 off, and I was like, sure, I'll get a Secret Wars 890 newsstand to match my 252. And I do have a question for you all, though. I'm kind of torn, because I feel like with these two books, I really want an Amazing Spider-Man 300 to complete the black suit set, you know? But the thing is I'm not really that crazy about the book. I don't think the cover looks as good as either one of those covers. The book is obviously way more expensive. I kind of would like a 9.0 to match it, which I think it's got about $1,000. And it's like, that's a lot of money to put into a book that I'm not even really going to be in love with. Like, the feeling is not going to be like, oh my god, this book's amazing. It's going to be like, the set is complete. You know, like, I don't know. I'd love to know some opinions. I know that book is very iconic. In its first appearance of Venom, you know, like, it's a good book, for sure. And I don't know. I'm just kind of torn on it. I want it, but I don't know how bad I want it, I guess, is where I'm at. Maybe I should just put my money into some other books. I'm not sure. We'll see. We only got a couple books left, though. So starting off with my other Sam De La Rosa signature. Bought this one. Again, he had some books for sale. This one, he doesn't do remarks if you like bring them up to him. If you bring him a raw book, he won't do a remark on it, but he does have books he's already remarked. And so he had a Venom 1 Lethal Protector already signed and remarked. He sold to me. Newsstand, too. Hard to find this book in a newsstand. So I sent it in, got it graded. CBCS 9.2. Pretty cool book. And the last book is a book that walked into the shop. I'm not a stickler for 9.8s. I'm not, okay? Like I said, I'm a big fan of 9.0s. However, this book came into the shop. It's a book I was already looking for. It's kind of on my notes, you know. I'll keep an eye out for this book. I need to pick this up. It's a cool cover, good key. And it came into the shop at a 9.8, signed by the man Donny Cates. Venom number 3, first appearance in Null. And it came into the shop and I just had to snag it. I just had to. It's just too cool of a book. And like I said, it was one I was already looking for. And I was like, okay, fine. You got me. But that is every slab that I picked up in 2021. Like I said, I think there's maybe 4 that I listed that I sold. Haven't really got rid of a lot of slabs. Probably will be getting rid of some of these slabs in 2022 and picking up a whole lot more slabs, I'm sure. I don't know how many that was. I think I picked up, I don't know, maybe 30 slabs or so throughout the year. And then, yeah, I just did 10 CGC slabs just came in already, started off in January. So we got a good little head start. But I'd love to know, please in the comments, let me know. Don't tell me every book that you got last year, but notable books that you're happy that you picked up last year, or maybe things you're looking forward to pick up or picking up in 2022. You know the deal. Just hit me up, talk to me about comics. What do you think? Do you think some of these books were a little goofy for me to get? Or, you know, I think it is really interesting to see, for me to be able to look at these books and see the evolution of myself as a comic collector. I think that's really interesting. One thing I do kind of regret is I wish I kept a list of every slab that I got in order. So I knew exactly, because some of these, it all blurs together. I don't remember, it's like, did that come before this or that? Or I don't really remember. So if I kept an order of when I got the books, would be pretty cool. But I don't know, maybe if you're a newer collector and you're not too far into it yet, that's something you can start. But I'm definitely too far to start now. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching the video. I'm tired. I've done a lot today, so I'm going to be out of here. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.